of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
Are you mad at me?
No.
Okay.
You're fine.
402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. We got a loaded show for you today, as we always do, and we'll probably go off track like we always do. But here we are on a Wednesday, a day before Nebraska basketball hosts Prairie View A&M. No, Florida A&M.
Wow.
Florida A&M.
Don't even know who they're playing.
Okay, Rico. Do we need to hash this out on the air?
No, it's
Do you have something you want to hash out?
Nothing, man.
Okay.
Just do your thing.
Anyway, so it is signing day, though, as well for Nebraska men's basketball and women's basketball, as well as some of the other sports. Basically all sports but football for the most part. Today, it's signing day.
Yeah, nobody cares about football.
And Nebraska has inked a couple big-time players,
Everybody.
both in volleyball, men's basketball, and women's basketball.
Mhm.
Who are the volleyball ones? Tell us. Olivia Mock
From
out
Bennington, the number 16 prospect, libero, as John Cook said, one of the most technically sound liberos in the country.
Okay.
Was a starter on the U19 team that was world champions. Again, out of Bennington, number 16 ranked player. And Skylar Pierce, the number 4 player in the country, number 1 outside hitter, 6'3", out of Kansas, out of the state of Kansas, has inked her letter of intent. Both of them will be coming to Nebraska next season. They did lose out on Aiden Ames, who will be signing with Texas. So they went from 3 in this class to 2.
Which that's why we're seeing. I mean, I think Prep Dig ranked them as like the sixth best class in the Big Ten Conference.
Yes, Ohio State has the best class.
Not because of talent or lack thereof. They had 2 people, and
the top
20.
Guess
what? Nebraska is still
loaded.
Not graduated anybody.
Yeah,
so,
you're loaded.
Yeah,
so,
you're doing just fine.
So now you only like kind of a negative thought on it is just like now you only have to find room for 2 people.
Yeah,
instead of 3.
Yeah, and then men's basketball, they signed a couple guys as well. Nick Janowski signed, who Fred Hoiberg called him one of the smoothest shooters. He has one of the smoothest shots that he's seen for a guy his age from the state of Wisconsin. And this is what Coach Hoiberg said about Nick Janowski. He says the thing that stands out about Nick is his competitiveness. He knows how to win and the work it takes to be successful. He plays for one of the best programs in Wisconsin and possesses an outstanding work ethic. Nick is a combo guard who is one of the best shooters in his class. And we talked to Fred Hoiberg earlier today, and he said that Nick gets up at 4. His first workout every day is at 4:30 a.m. He eats well. Fred Hoiberg said he has that over me because when I was in college, I ate Taco Bell every Wednesday on my day off.
Same. Actually, we didn't have Wednesday.
We didn't have days off, but I still ate Taco Bell.
Wednesday swimming practice at 6 a.m.
Was it Taco Bell?
No, it's swimming practice. Me and my roommate, all my roommates were on the track team. One of my roommates, we would go to this local Chinese place that was like a block away from our house every Thursday.
Still there.
It is still there.
Good.
And I really need to go back because it was the best Chinese food I've ever had in my life.
Carney needs me to come back.
Carney doesn't need you.
Anyway, then the other men's basketball signee from Lincoln Southwest High School, Braden Frager.
That one caught us by surprise.
That caught us by surprise because up until this point, up until today, we imagined that he was going to be a 2025 guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's indeed reclassifying to the 2024 class. And when asked about him, Fred Hoiberg said, there were multiple options, and we kind of laid them all out for Braden and his family. But at the end of the day, he shot 43% from beyond the arc last year.
Jeez.
I mean, he shot 43% for Lincoln Southwest. He's going to compete for the Silverhawks this fall/winter and into the spring next year. But then also then he's going to join the team in June. And so when you look at this, I mean, he's a double type of guy. Fred Hoiberg said that even as a true freshman, his body is going to be ready to compete in the Big Ten Conference. And so obviously they see value in there. So they see value in bringing Braden Frager in a year earlier than initially expected. And here's what Fred Hoiberg had to say. Braden is a hard playing wing with good size. He's a high-flying athlete who can finish with authority at the rim and can score at all three levels. Braden is a very confident kid who plays with an edge. If I remember correctly, this guy, Braden Frager, is listed at 6'8", 6'7". 6'7", 210 pounds. Going to be a wing, had offers from Nebraska, obviously, Creighton, Iowa State, and Northwestern were all in on Braden Frager, and he ended up committing to the Huskers back on October 13th, so a little under a month ago. And then we will.
Well, if Creighton wants him, obviously he's a good shooter.
There you go.
Obviously.
Which, by the way, Creighton not redshirting Josiah Doetzler.
No, it was like over the last 2 weeks they decided. Yeah. He made everyone some decided, hey, you're looking pretty good. How about you just play this year?
And then the big one, obviously, of the day, Nebraska women's basketball signs 5-star guard Britt Prince.
Yes.
Top 30 player in the class. And we say top 30 because on some sites she's top 10. On other sites, she's like the 26th best player in the country. So we just say top 30 because nonetheless, I mean, this is one that can change programs.
There's a massive signing.
Huge. I mean, you look. So it was funny. I want to go to Nebraska women's basketball's Twitter because they listed out her accolades for them.
How many tweets did it take?
It took a while. Right. So how about this? Real quickly, this is the write-up that the Huskers provided to the media members. Prince, a senior at Elkhorn North High School and the number 28 ranked prospect in the nation, joins Amaya Hargrove from Christopher, Illinois, and Lincoln Southwest High School guard Kennedy Williams in Nebraska's trio of 2024 to 2025 newcomers. How about this? Prince, through her first 3 high school seasons, has totaled 1,790 points, 574 rebounds, 362 assists, and 276 steals. The Gatorade and Max Preps Nebraska Player of the Year in 2023, she averaged 24.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists, while hitting 59% of her shots from the floor, including 46% of her three-point shots and 92% of her free throws.
That is a ridiculous number from 3, considering that she also is the one handling the ball.
Yeah. An Adidas All-American and a Max Preps Junior second-team All-American in 2023. She is a 3-time Super State and All-Nebraska selection while leading the Wolves to a perfect 16 for 16 at the free throw line. During the regular season, Prince recorded a triple-double with 33 points, 11 boards, and 10 assists in a win over Hastings.
33 points.
A talented all-around athlete, the 5'11 Prince finished 5th at the state cross-country championships as a freshman before winning state titles as a member of the 4x400 relay team and as both a freshman and a sophomore.
She don't get tired.
She also won state gold in the 800-meter run as a sophomore. She added another relay gold in the 4x800 relay as a sophomore after taking silver as a freshman.
That's ridiculous.
She's a member of the National Honor Society and honor roll at Elkhorn North. That's good. So anyway, I mean, there's
17 tweets later.
Yeah. So, I mean, once again, you just look at what she can bring to a program in general.
Dual sport athlete. She's on the track team too. No, she's not.
But no. So, but she sat out. She chose to sit out of cross country this year for Elkhorn North because she wants to get fully healthy. She injured her foot last spring in the state championship game against Scott. Ends up coming back, wins a title for him. Was not near 100%. And you could see it while she was out there. Was still effective, the most effective player on the floor, and comes back, wins a state championship, and then after that game in March, chooses to sit out the AAU circuit, which is understandable. She's already, I mean, all the eggs are in the basket, all the hay's in the barn anyway for her. 35 offers from Britt Prince. And then she ends up sitting out of cross country to get ready for this basketball season, her senior year. Trying to go straight. Yeah, I was just gonna say, trying to win her 4th state title in year 4 of Elkhorn North.
Yeah, the school is 4 years old and they have 3 state titles. Well, 3 years old, whatever, and they have 3 straight state titles in girls basketball because of Britt Prince and the rest of the Wolves roster.
So here's what's interesting. Unnamed texter sent this in 402-464-5685. They say Britt Prince had to have a huge NIL deal. Otherwise, you go to UConn or whatever, blue blood, right? Well, a couple things just in play. Obviously, the potential for NIL is pretty lucrative, I would assume, in your home state. Now, in addition, and more importantly, when you look at, and they haven't been announced, so we kind of have to be careful talking about them because I'm not trying to name them. When you look at the schools that were in Britt Prince's
11,
top 11, she released the top 11. There was a lot of them that were system fits. Now, and that's what you can do coming from a team or a family that, frankly, has basketball in their blood, right? Ann Prince, her mom is the coach at Elkhorn North, has a close relationship with Amy Williams. Britt Prince has a close relationship with Kennedy Williams. So when you look at the underlying factors, there's more than just NIL here. Now, that might have been something, but I think when you looked at just all the schools, she didn't narrow them down necessarily in terms of where can I go and win a championship. She narrowed them down in terms of where can I go and be the most successful? Where's the best system for me? System fit. Where does my game fit in the best? And ultimately, she believed, and I know it came down to the wire. I can tell you that for a fact. Came down to a wire and ultimately chose Nebraska over a couple really, really solid programs in the list of offers that she had. So
her top 11.
Yep.
Just so we can go through that. Nebraska, Creighton, Iowa, Iowa State, Indiana, Oklahoma, Oregon, North Carolina, Baylor, USC, and Louisville.
I mean, one thing I will also say about that, Indiana shoots a lot of threes. Creighton shoots a lot of threes. Iowa, certainly, with Caitlin Clark, obviously. And in addition, I mean, how do you say no? It's tough, I should say, to say no to Caitlin Clark. She's one of the most polarizing women's college basketball players to ever play college ball.
She wouldn't be there next year when Britt gets there.
No.
But you would have...
You see how they use her.
You would see, you see how she was used, how you would probably be used, and they have that energy of coming off of a national championship appearance last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a year in between, but however Iowa goes this year, they go how Caitlin Clark goes. Whatever they do this year, you'll have that energy also going into next year when Britt Prince would have gotten there if she decided to go to Iowa. I mean, Louisville, they lose their star guard as she goes to LSU, and I'm blanking on her name
Haley
right now.
Van Lith.
Yeah, Haley Van Lith, who she's in LSU right now, and they lose their first game on the road to Colorado. But Louisville, also, you saw how they used Haley and how she played the game. Again, very similar to how Britt Prince plays her game. So, like Nick said, it was a lot of system fits. But I think, and look, this is just me spitballing, that it might have come down to the fact that she stays close to home. She has a very close relationship with Kennedy Williams. Her mother is going to be able to see her at games whenever they don't have games or are on the road or whatever. So I think it's just the proximity to home that might have helped.
In the other sport, and IQ Crew helped us out with this one, as Nebraska Bowling also got a signature. We're not going to be able to touch on every single one, but Nebraska Bowling signed Kayla Starr from Crofton. So Kayla Starr is now a member of the bowling team as well. The IQ Crew said show bowling some love, although no official recruiting info because they don't track it. They signed Kayla Starr from Crofton.
Is that Maryland?
Maryland?
MD?
MD.
I think that's Maryland.
It wouldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
So there you go. Not Crofton, Nebraska.
No.
Crofton, Maryland. So there you go. IQ Crew. There's plenty of Husker baseball that signed a couple. Nebraska softball signed a few. So there's just talent coming in to Lincoln all over the place throughout various sports, but especially men's, women's basketball, some big ones. And I think Husker fans can be really excited about players like Nick Janowski and obviously the Britt Prince. And we didn't even get to talk about Kennedy Williams and her dynamic ability when fully healthy. We've seen it at Lincoln Southwest in years past, but then also Amaya Hargrove as well.
So you were going through Britt's stats in her first 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Amaya's stats in, they say, the last 2 years. And I'm just like, they're very close.
Very similar.
Amaya is going to be a problem for the rest of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Over the past 2 seasons, she's racked up 1,408 points, 550 rebounds, and 146 steals. Amaya Hargrove out of, what is it again? Christopher High School in Christopher, Illinois.
Yep, there you go. There's your little quick Nebraska signing day update here on the first day of early signing period for basically all sports but football. So, all right, let's take a break. It's one of our favorite times of the week as we'll hang out with Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska to talk Husker football and Husker hoops, obviously, but we have to ask Steve a couple of other things. One of them is, well, why spoil the surprise?
Yeah.
We'll just ask Steve about him coming up next. You're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday season is upon us, and wow, do we have some really awesome incentives to share with you. Right now at Koppel, we're offering 0.9% interest rates or $6,000 off select Chevrolet and GMC models. Yes, you heard right, 0.9% or $6,000 off select new models. In addition, Costco customers can get special incentives for this entire month. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus with approved credit.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L, or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: some areas of patchy fog are possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies with breezy today, too. We'll see a high of around 64. Tonight, mainly clear skies and breezy conditions with a low around 32. And tomorrow, we'll see lots of sunshine and a high of 58. Meteorologist Kyle Cluckett from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Sue's Frame Shop.
Yes, can you frame these, please?
These are Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic Scratch tickets.
I know. Isn't the classic Christmas artwork on them just charming? Now, be sure not to smudge it when you frame them.
But if you scratch them and enter non-winning tickets online, you could win up to $20,000.
Give me those. Here's a quarter. Let's start scratching.
Promotion ends January 3rd, 2024. Top prize odds vary by game.
You play Lucky for life, don't you?
Yeah, love it. Chance to win $1,000 a day for the rest of my life.
How does it work?
Choose 6 numbers and buy a ticket.
Then what?
Check your numbers after the nightly drawing to see if you've won.
Whoa, slow down. You lost me there.
Choose 6 numbers.
6 numbers, got it.
Check the drawing.
Whoa, how do you remember all that?
Just lucky, I guess.
Lucky for life, top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico hanging out with you. Let's go right to it. The Allo VIP line, sponsored by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We're joined by our good friend, Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. Steve, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick, I'm doing great. Enjoying this fine fall weather we got going on here.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, okay, so...
Shout out to leaves, right, Steve?
Yeah, I got a lot in the backyard.
Is there a day that you're going to start cleaning them, or is that not even on your docket yet?
Not even on the radar, but it should be. As a grown adult, I need to take care of that, I guess.
Sorry,
but, as of right now, I need to carve out some time to do that.
Steve, how big's your yard?
It's a good-sized backyard. I won't lie.
That's disappointing.
$50.
Yeah, it is.
Rico's trying to start a leaf cleaning business.
Well, Rico, if you want to go and do it for me, I mean, we can work something out.
I'll have to analyze
send pictures of your
analyze the terrain and the size of the yard, and then get back to you with some numbers.
All right, sounds good.
Steve, what if I read you this headline? Several GMs have said that the Cubs may be the most aggressive team pursuing Shohei Ohtani.
Oh man, I don't know if I could take that after the Craig Council news. If Ohtani kind of popped on the radar and the Cubs are serious about that as well, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I don't know. I'd have to celebrate.
That was the exact reaction that Nick had when I showed him. His eyes rolled into the back of his head, and he was like, "Yes."
This is all the plan. This is the plan. We knew the Cubs were going to be super aggressive going into the offseason.
No, we did not. No, we did not. Okay.
I mean, it's the exact opposite of what everybody thought was going to happen.
One more thing before we get to Huskers. I know you're a big Maction guy, and I'm a huge Toledo guy. I love Jason Candle, and one of my favorite players in all of college football is DeQuan Finn. Are you going to be glued to the TV to watch my guy DeQuan tonight?
Yeah, DeQuan Finn's a guy who, is one of the best MAC players there is. Obviously, a guy who can run a little bit, throw a little bit.
It is.
He's really fun, and yeah, you're right. Toledo's got it going right now, undefeated in conference play. I think only MAC team to do that.
They're 9-0. They should be 9-0, but with a last-second loss at Illinois, they're 8-1.
Yeah, they were. I watched that game early in the season.
Yeah,
they should have won that one.
They should have
won that one.
It's really disappointing.
We have a clip that we have to send to DeQuan Finn of Nick begging him to come to Nebraska. So
I told him he's a junior. Hey, he's a junior. I mean, he's got a year left. I went wild with him on NCAA 14, and now he can do the same thing in Lincoln.
Yeah, he's going to be. He's going to have plenty of suitors calling his cell phone if he does enter the transfer portal. So.
All right, Steve, let's dive into it. Not really enjoying talking about the Nebraska-Michigan State game from last Saturday. You were in East Lansing. I think one thing that's super disappointing for me personally is everybody talks about how that was a create your own energy type of game and that the stadium was dead, right? And Nebraska, I mean, Michigan State, not necessarily the most talented team, and maybe Nebraska's not either. But I walked away from that going, we shouldn't be able to fall back on that. Nebraska's this team that was one game away, and still is for that matter, from making a bowl game. They haven't been here in a long time. Why are we having this issue of energy? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It was kind of a sleep atmosphere in East Lansing. It was kind of a gray, dreary day. And it was just really out of character for that defense to get off to the start that it did, Tony White's unit, because, for Michigan State to march down the field right away, on the heels of, really, to keep the drive going with two, busts from Nebraska's defense, back-to-back busts that got them in field goal range. And I know they held them to a field goal, but, once Michigan State, got that 3 points on the board on their first possession, I think everybody that was watching at home was kind of they had that bad feeling in their stomach of, hey, this is not going to be the game that we all assumed was going to happen, that Nebraska was going to win this thing easy. It was going to be a fight once Michigan State kind of did that, and Nebraska was making mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes on defense. So, I don't know. It was just a weird kind of game. But that's the Big Ten. Nebraska does not have an offense that, is able to maybe just run away from other opponents, especially in the Big Ten. So yeah, I mean, I think it gave you a kind of a thought of, hey, this defense, this offense, these special teams, they're not yet quite over that hump that Matt Rule wants to get them over mindset-wise, where they stop worrying about everything outside of the program and they just kind of focus on their game, because maybe he's right. Maybe all the talk about the bowl game, another win to get them to 6 and qualify for a bowl, maybe it made an impact in the game, and they weren't ready to play, and Michigan State popped them in the mouth, and that's exactly what happened.
Steve, when you look at last Saturday's game against the Spartans, is it more on play calling and coaches' decisions, or is it just players not making plays? No,
I mean, for me personally, just rewatching the games, and I have a column that I do every Tuesday morning. It's called the Check Down, and in it, I kind of go back through the game and kind of relay my thoughts on some certain parts of the game, and during that is kind of the offense review and really kind of detailing plays and looking, what was there, what wasn't. I mean, it's not coaching, in my opinion. It is absolutely on the players to execute the plays on the field, because there are several moments. I'm telling you guys, you go back and you watch these plays, you watch the routes develop, you watch the blocking in front of these running backs. There are more yards to be had and there are more points to be scored, but the players on the field just aren't doing them. I go back to Josh Fleeks, and I'm not meaning to bang on Josh Fleeks here, because he came here as a receiver, and due to some season-ending injuries, he's now getting real reps as a running back. But he needs to be better running the rock. There were several opportunities for him on Saturday against Michigan State to pick up first downs, to get north and south and get extra yardage and more first downs. But instead, he tries to widen out, just like the problem with Anthony Grant that we saw last year. He tries to widen out. He tries to stretch a defense toward the sideline, and he ends up going out of bounds. And on plays that he should have got 4 or 5 or maybe even 6+ more yards on the ground. You look at Heinrich Harburg and the passing routes that he's being asked to look at. Everybody saw Malachi Coleman running on a shallow cross on a third and long. If Heinrich Harburg sees him and isn't just dead set on one receiver and not looking at the defense and just like trained on one receiver, if Heinrich Harburg sees Malachi Coleman on that shallow cross, that's a first down, and that extends the drive. Who knows what happens after that? There are countless more opportunities down the field in the passing game that they are open, that I guarantee you in the film room with Marcus Satterfield and Heinrich Harburg, Marcus is just like pointing out all these things, and there are plays to be made, but in my opinion, the guys on the field are just not getting it done. It is absolutely not the coaching, and that's my belief, and I'm really strong with that.
We're speaking with Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. And Steve, you kind of hit on it, but what is Nebraska going to have to do going forward? Because the playbook is out now. Michigan State kind of laid it out for the remaining 3 teams that are facing the Huskers. You load the box, you keep the quarterback from getting out of the pocket and running the ball, and you go man-to-man outside and make them beat you with the pass. Like, what is Nebraska going to have to do offensively going forward to counteract what these teams are more than likely going to throw at them? Because you said the play calling is there. The routes are open. The players are getting open. You just have to get the ball to them. But going forward, what's going to happen?
I don't know if there's anything more that you can do other than just coach harder, try to develop these guys on offense. And you're absolutely right, Rico. Michigan State laid the foundation, laid the blueprint for what everybody's going to be doing. They're going to load the box. They're going to try to stop the run and make Heinrich Harburg beat them through the air. And right now it looks like a really good idea to do that, because Heinrich Harburg is coming off a game where he completed 12 passes out of 28 attempts, 129 yards, two interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and that's an ugly 43% completion percentage. So, I just don't know what else there is to do outside of just coaching and getting better play from the players on the field. Now the coaches are going to take the blame for it, just like good coaches do at press conferences. But if you just watch the games, you can tell that there are plays to be made, and the players aren't really executing them. Maybe that means using Heinrich Harburg more in the run game, the design quarterback game like that. And they've been doing a lot of that before. But you're right. I don't know. It's not an easy situation because you are so limited on the offensive side of the ball. And so it's just going to be really interesting when Maryland comes to town here. They've lost 4 straight. They just got blown out by Penn State at home, 51-15, I think the score was. And now they're expected to fly halfway across the country to a place called Lincoln and try to win a football game. It's just going to be really interesting. And I really like Maryland's run defense. They're pretty stout up front. They have some dudes on that defensive front. So, if they can maybe limit what Nebraska does on the ground and try to put the game on Heinrich Harburg's right arm, things might be looking good for the Terps. But I don't have an answer for you, Rico. I just think it's on the ground. It's the players themselves just executing and being better.
Steve, when you look at Heinrich Harburg specifically, and we talk about him a lot, obviously, because he's Nebraska's starting quarterback at the moment. When you assess just kind of his performances over the last 2-3 weeks, going back to the the Northwestern, Purdue, and now the Michigan State game, it just feels like he's a lot more timid or just unsure about where to be, what decisions to make. Are you getting that same kind of read on him, or are you on a different side of the boat?
No, I definitely think he's thinking more out there, and I think it was Marcus Satterfield yesterday who brought up a good point. He was asked how he has seen opposing defenses kind of defend Heinrich Harburg, who is not your typical kind of pocket passer, and he said that defenses are learning ways that, if they just really try to defend that zone read game, try to keep Heinrich in the box and make him a passer, you're going to see positive results, and that's exactly what's happened. But it's just it's kind of, I've kind of forgot your question. Sorry, Nick, but it's really just about him, and I guess just getting back to what he was showing against the Northern Illinois, the Louisiana Techs, the Illinois, where he wasn't really thinking too much. But now, since he's gotten these starts under his belt against Illinois, Northwestern, Purdue, Michigan State, he's seen all these different defenses kind of do things to him, and so he's inside. He's thinking about this and he's thinking about that, and he's like, well, if I see this, then I need to do that. It's a lot for some guys. It can be a lot, and his first season of starting, all of this has got to be going super, super fast for him, and then in turn that actually slows him down, makes him a slow blinker instead of a quick blinker on the field. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. He's just being overloaded with so much information that he's trying to take in and make the right decision. It's actually slowing everything down on the field. So I think Satterfield, he had that cool quote where he went to Heinrich and he said, "Hey, let's just have fun. Let's relax. Let's get back to what you were doing against Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech, where you weren't worried about anything outside of just, the offense and moving the ball and picking up first downs and scoring touchdowns and running through people's faces. Just do that again. Be that guy. Don't be the guy against Michigan State who's trying to, think about this and think about that. And, oh, I see this. And, oh, I see that. I need to do this. I need to do that. No. Just go out, play fast, have fun, and live with the results.
Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska joining us. All right, Steve, let's look at Saturday, because Nebraska is going to be hosting a Maryland Terrapins team. As you said, lost 4 straight here. Played a pretty decent game against the Ohio State Buckeyes back then, which then would have been their first loss of the season. But now sitting here at 5-4, one of these teams, whether it's Maryland or Nebraska, going to qualify for a bowl game with a win on Saturday. But one angle of this is Maryland's quarterback, Talia Tagovailoa, is going to be probably one of the better quarterbacks that Nebraska's seen all year. You think about the quarterbacks in the Big Ten Conference, and it's not that you're meeting a J.J. McCarthy every single week, or Ohio State's quarterback room is down, and Nebraska faced Luke Altmaier and faced Brennan Sullivan and those types of quarterbacks, which, no knock to those guys, they're not the J.J. McCarthys of the world. Is there some concern just how Nebraska's defense approaches this week with Talia Tagovailoa, or do we have just this supreme confidence in Tony White's side that they're going to be able to get the job done?
Yeah, Tagovailoa, to his little brother, he's a fifth-year guy, came to Maryland in 2020 before the 2020 season. He can ball. He's a really good athlete. He can move around really well. He's got a live wire arm. He's kind of a cowboy out there. He's sort of similar. He's a way better passer than Heinrich Harburg, but I think they're similar in that they're both creators. They both, when they break the pocket, they're either looking to run or looking to throw. And I think Talia is a little more focused on looking to throw once he breaks the pocket and is on the run. So he's a fun quarterback to watch, and he's gonna make some plays, but he'll also kind of that cowboy role. He's also gonna make some kind of risky throws out there. He's gonna try to make some big plays, and in turn that could be successful, and it could also backfire sometimes. But so, that's going to be interesting because absolutely he is one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. He can keep Maryland in it, and he can help out the other team by giving them the ball with some risky plays. So it's going to be an excellent test for Tony White's defense. And coming off the Michigan State game where 3 different people connected on passes, and the pass defense kind of struggled there for a little bit. I think Maryland can absolutely move the ball through the air against this Husker defense and keep things tight. I fully expect this to be a 4-quarter game. I don't think either team is good enough to kind of run away with it, but we will see. I think this might be another nail biter on Saturday at Memorial Stadium, and a lot to do with it has a lot to do with Talia Tagovailoa because of his ability both as a runner and passer.
Yeah, Tagovailoa with completed over 65% of his passes this season. Wouldn't that be nice to have it in Lincoln?
Yeah.
And then 21 touchdowns and 7 picks. I mean, looking back, while we talked about that 65%, remember at the tail end of fall camp, Steve, when we heard from Marcus Satterfield and the coaches that Jeff Sims had completed over 65%, and it was like, wow, that's a really good benchmark that if Nebraska can have that with the quarterback run game, I mean, just how much things have changed in the last 10 weeks is just kind of bizarre.
Yeah, and Heinrich Harburg is sitting at 50% right now, 7 touchdown passes on the season, 6 interceptions. Now he's kind of made up for a little bit as a bruising runner that he is with almost 500 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. So he can give you a lot in the run game, but yeah, as a passer, he's nowhere near that 65%, which Satterfield kind of set as the benchmark of being a solid pocket passer in the Big Ten at 65%. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jeff Sims just did not look like he was ever going to hit that, even if he did stay out there and play. I don't know if he has a yips or anything right now, but it's just not looking good for his side of things. But yeah, with Heinrich Harburg, he's still probably the best option right now at quarterback with Nebraska. But I'm just really anxious to see how this end of the season goes with him and how he develops these last few games because if they can't get past Maryland, then you start looking at a really tough night road game at Camp Randall. That's kind of iffy right there. I know Wisconsin is just coming off a loss too, and you obviously got Iowa Hawkeyes coming to Lincoln, so that's always going to be a fun one. But the 65%, I don't think any Husker quarterback is going to be hitting that this season. But looking forward, looking ahead to everything with how they're going to handle the quarterback situation, finding somebody who's capable of hitting at least 60 in a game is going to be just do that, and I think it's going to help the offense a lot. Just be more efficient. It's going to help them a lot.
Steve, we got to get one basketball question in here since they did sign 2 guys today. It was initially going to be 1, and then Braden Frager ends up reclassifying to 2024. What do Husker fans need to know about Nick Janowski and Braden Frager? Because it seems like Nebraska got a couple really, really nice additions today.
Oh, yeah. Nick Janowski, he's one of the best players in the state of Wisconsin. He stole them from the Badgers. So, I think it's 2 excellent additions to the 2024 class for Fred Hoiberg. Janowski is an elite shooter. He's a knockdown shooter. I think it was he hit some sort of like crazy sort of 3-point percentage last year as a junior. It was around 50%, if I'm not mistaken. So he can really fill it up. And I know Hoiberg and his assistant, one of his lead assistants, Nate Lenzer, went up to Wisconsin, kind of watched him work out and found out that he starts his day at 4:30 in the morning, and he's already getting a workout in, and he's getting some work in a gym of some sort 3 to 4 times daily. So that kind of tells you something about Nick Janowski and his mindset and how driven he is to be a really good college basketball player. So that's what Nebraska is getting with Nick Janowski, 6'3", 6'4" guard who's a knockdown shooter, an elite shooter. Now I'm really interested in Braden Frager, 6'6", 210 pounds. And he originally was in the 2025 class out of Lincoln Southwest, but he obviously reclassified, like you said, to the 2024 class. So he will graduate and in May, this upcoming May, and then be with the Huskers program in June. So it's kind of an accelerated clock with Braden Frager, but Hoiberg thinks that he can handle all of it just because of his size and his frame that he's already blessed with at 6'6" and 210 pounds. A high flyer, Braden Frager is. He is a really uber athletic dude who can get up and down the court. He can rim run. He can, and the best thing is I think that he has shown on the AAU team that he plays on, ETG. He has really worked on his jump shot. He has worked to develop a jumper, and at Southwest last season, he hit 42 or 40% of his 3-point shots. So that's always good to see when you see a young guy who maybe wasn't a great jump shooter to start, but to see him work and develop year after year, and to have him go off in the summer and kind of blow up on the recruiting trail and have Nebraska land him as a guy in their own backyard, that's awesome. So Fred Hoiberg is really, really high on Braden Frager and what he can develop into, even as a super young guy coming in a year early.
Looking at this current season, last one before we let you go, looking at this current season, Nebraska's got a couple guys that are banged up and being held out right now. But with not only their schedule, they take care of business against Lindenwood. They're going to face a Florida A&M team tomorrow that just got the doors beat off of them by Creighton. That looks really good after just one game. But when you look at just Nebraska, it feels like they have a luxury here early on in the year to get a couple of their key guys plenty of time to get fully healthy before asking them to come back.
Yeah, I think it was good on the schedule makers at Nebraska for scheduling Lindenwood, Florida A&M, Rider, Stony Brook. They go to Sioux Falls to play Oregon State. That's going to be a big game. But then they come home and finish off Duquesne and Cal State Fullerton before the big Creighton match on December 3rd in Pinnacle Bank Arena. So that's a chance. That's an excellent chance to get some momentum, to get some wins, to get some positivity. A lot of people are like, oh, shouldn't they be playing like more a tougher schedule? No, not at all. For this Husker team, for what it's been in recent years, it's a good idea to get in there, play some inferior opponents, work on some things, and get some wins under your belt before you start playing the real tough team. So, this schedule allows them to really be careful with Keisei Tominaga and his rolled ankle, because they don't need Keisei against Florida A&M. They won't need him against Rider, Stony Brook. Now, I think he'll come for those games. He'll return for those games, but it's just a good opportunity to finally get some positive momentum going right away for the Nebraska basketball program, and that hasn't happened a ton since Fred has been here. So I think it's a very good idea that they scheduled who they scheduled before that Creighton game.
Yeah, that positive momentum early in the season, I didn't think about that until you just said it right there. It's always been, hey, look at how Nebraska ended the season. It was the wins against Ohio State, Wisconsin. You had the really good finish to the year last year. Now it's something different this year, with maybe they can get 5 or 6, maybe even 7 wins under their belt before they really get into the bulk of their schedule. All right, Steve, appreciate the time as always, man. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, I will. Thank you guys for having me on.
There he is, Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. Appreciate his time as always. Let's take our final timeout. No Austin today, no Strick. It's going to be me and DP, and then Jay will stop by a little bit later as we take you through the rest of the afternoon right here. We'll cross things over and get you ready for On the Block coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Sue's Frame Shop.
Yes. Can you frame these, please?
These are Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic Scratch tickets.
I know. Isn't the classic Christmas artwork on them just charming? Now, be sure not to smudge it when you frame them.
But if you scratch them and enter non-winning tickets online, you could win up to $20,000.
Give me those. Here's a quarter. Let's start scratching.
Promotion ends January 3rd, 2024. Top prize odds vary by game.
You play Lucky for life, don't you?
Yeah, love it. Chance to win $1,000 a day for the rest of my life.
How does it work?
Choose 6 numbers and buy a ticket.
Then what?
Check your numbers after the nightly drawing to see if you've won.
Whoa, slow down. You lost me there.
Choose 6 numbers.
6 numbers. Got it.
Check the drawing.
Whoa, how do you remember all that?
Just lucky, I guess.
Lucky for life, top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Giverito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L, or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brant.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. How's it going?
How are you?
There it is. right on the camera. But anyway, back here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Before we get into the crossover and get you ready for On the Block, just let you know the holidays are right around the corner, and now is the best time to think about the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Whether you're shopping for family and friends or for employees and clients, Omaha Steaks can help you skip the guesswork of gourmet gifts that they're guaranteed to love. For a limited time, save 50% off site-wide when you shop this 93.7 The Ticket exclusive on Omaha Steaks website. Plus, you'll get 8 free pure ground filet mignon burgers with qualifying orders. And every purchase is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. All you have to do is go to omahasteaks.com/the ticket for this delicious deal. Once again, it's omahasteaks.com/the ticket. I mean, you want steaks and 8 free filet mignon burgers? Come on.
Those Omaha steaks are delicious. I tell you what.
Yeah. Raph and I were talking this morning about when we went to the Big Red Brunch Golf Scramble, and the guy was cooking them out of his backyard. On the golf course, on a golf hole.
Yeah.
And they were giving away little steak seasonings. So we were saying, go to the website, get yourself, once again, 50% off site-wide when you shop the 93.7 The Ticket exclusive. Get the seasoning, get the steaks, get everything. And in the process, you'll get 8 free pure ground filet mignon burgers with the qualifying order. With that being said, we bring in DP. Hello, sir.
What's that?
DP,
Senor.
It's a big weekend this Saturday. One of the teams going to walk away qualified for a bowl game. Both teams come in
Unless they tie.
5 and 4.
Which seems to be the
Honestly?
appropriate way.
I would not.
Honestly,
why not? That feels like it would be such a thing.
Both of those programs absolutely would play themselves into a tie.
Why? It's 11 a.m. kick, but it gets to like 4 o'clock, and they're like, you know what? Just end it. Just stop.
Just stop it.
Let's just meet in a bowl game.
Just stop it. Well,
We'll
there
just
we
meet
go.
each other in the bowl
We'll go
game.
to the Pinstripe Bowl.
No, they'll meet. They'll bring out the octagon, and then the turtle and Herbie will just solve it.
Yeah. Hey,
winner gets out, but they say fear the turtle. So
well, and Maryland's wearing some pretty clean uniforms this weekend
I saw
too.
the helmets. I was like, oh yeah, Johnny Holiday. Paging Johnny Holiday. I need that helmet. Oh, I'm getting one of those helmets.
I was just gonna say, are we gonna see one in the 1040 Street location here?
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, look, I've been working on Logan Smothers and his dad on trying to get that butt kicking chicken helmet. From Jacksonville State.
You missed you buried the layup. Crystal Elliott's at Jacksonville State.
Oh, you're right.
I've already talked to her.
I just want that.
Hey, listen, bro.
I want that helmet.
You
so
get
bad.
behind the game. You're behind the chains, Rico.
AKC.
You got to get it together, man. You got to get it together. Make your move.
It's a great helmet.
But
do you know anybody at Western Kentucky?
We do. Hilltopper. As a matter of fact, we had somebody in the building from this. Benny Dobie. He's like a councilman.
I don't know.
He's from Western Kentucky. He was here having coffee the other day.
We need to get the big red, the guy that their mascot when he's doing for all the different position groups.
Yeah. Which position group though?
Oh, I want the corner one because he's going like the
incomplete
corner.
signal.
No matter it's an overthrow, you had absolutely nothing to do with the play. It's just like no zone, no catch zone,
no catches. What can you tell us, DP, about Tagovailoa? We're gonna get deep into it on the block here because it's you and me at least for the first hour and some change.
This is the first.
What about Talia is dangerous?
So in full disclosure, this is the only game this season that I will not root for the Maryland Terrapins.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, just full disclosure.
Thank you.
Right, my first college game that I ever went to was Maryland at the old Bird Stadium, and this was the Jerry Claiborne. You want to talk about dry offense? I think they ran the ball 50 times. And it was literally 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Do you know how happy that stadium would be?
This was Maryland back in the day.
Let me tell you.
Back in the day, I mean, this was how Maryland played. Like you were going to fullback. Matter of fact, there were times they ran 2 fullbacks.
Beautiful. Again, do you know how happy that stadium over there would be?
Two tight ends and 2 fullbacks. And they would just say, you know what? I'll meet you at the line of scrimmage. Whatever you get, you get.
You're speaking some people's love language.
Man, no, it was spectacular, right? That was the first. It was a 35-minute drive from my house, and so and then Maryland basketball with John Lucas, Tom McMillan. They were loaded. Lynn Elmore, like our old friend Lynn Elmore. Like it was special, and then you would go down. Tagovailoa one, he's just, to me, I think he actually has a better pro skill set than his brother. I think he has, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, playing in a Maryland system while it has some flex and it gives him some leeway, what it buries almost is his athletic ability. He's not a big quarterback. He's not a tall quarterback. But what I would want for them is to clean the windows for him to throw through. And then they would open up some things. Look, they've got 5 receivers that all have 30-plus catches. Hemby's legit at running back. They will run 2 tight end sets, 3 tight end sets. They'll empty the backfield and go 3 receivers and 2 tight ends. Like, they really don't care. Offensive rules don't apply to Maryland. 300 yards a game, 30 points a game. Like, it's if I was a receiver, I'd love to play in this system. The perfect matchup is not so much Tagovailoa versus the black shirts. It's the coordinators against the coordinators, because both of these teams flex. Both of these teams mask what they're going to do. What they line up in is not what they're going to run when the ball snap. There'll be a chess match before, matching personnel with schemes on the field. What scheme did Maryland put out there? Are they in too tight? In which they will run way more than you would imagine for a team that passes the ball the way they do. But then they will go to that, and then they will put the tight ends in motion, and then leave a linebacker on a wide receiver, on a 30-plus catch wide receiver.
Don't want that.
Right? They will stretch the field, get 3 deep vertical to take safeties and corners out of position, and then have running backs just dance out to the flat, and it's a running back and a linebacker outside the hash. Playmaker versus playmaker. What do you get? It's one of those really good offenses versus really good defense matchup. And Tagovailoa, what scares me is when he's on his best game, he will drop back, take the pressure, he'll drop a shoulder, he'll go for 7, it's first down, he'll get back in the huddle, and he extends drives at an elite level. Like, just being, listen, he doesn't need to try to score touchdowns. That's not part of his deal. But moving the chains off of broken plays, that dude, listen, it'll be interesting. I don't know if Nebraska scouts or spies. I'm not sure. But that's also a chess match. Because if you leave the middle of the field open for him, he's going to move the chains, hit you with the do sign, and get back in huddle.
Just keeping things alive.
Extended days. It's almost a playbook, a how-to playbook for Heinrich Harburg. If he could master passing situations where you don't panic and try to throw the ball into a space, you simply take positive yards and get back in the huddle. That's a difference maker. When he does that, both of them do it. They make fewer errors in the rest of the game. That's what we're looking for.
It's fascinating. I'm looking at just some of the player stats, and obviously this is just a general consensus. You look at the receivers for Maryland, led by Jashawn Jones, statistically, that is. What if I told you the top 5 receivers in terms of receiving yards this season have more yards in 2023 than Nebraska's leading receiver?
Yep.
They have 5 receivers. Jashawn Jones, and correct me if I'm wrong in pronunciation here, Caden Prather, Ty Felton, Corey Dykes, and Roman Hemby. Their running back has 12 more receiving yards than Nebraska's leading receiver, which is Thomas Fidone at 219 receiving yards.
That checks out.
Now, granted, there's been injuries, but Nebraska's just had the inability to pass all season long.
Well, this is why it intrigues me, because Tony White and his play calling, his ability to dial up schemes, change quarterback reads, right? That post-snap, he will walk somebody up, get him out of it, change the coverage. The chess match is what I'm watching Saturday. Like, normally I watch the game from offensive centers and nose tackles out. This would be one of the 2 games this year where I can say that's not going to be the case, because Maryland's going to spread. Offensively, they're going to spread, and they're going to look for, okay, which personnel do we have an advantage at? And they like to believe, but this is one of those weeks where it's good to have a full safety depth chart for Nebraska because those are people that can handle both receivers and tight ends in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be necessary. I would imagine that there are times when you have 3 safeties on the field just to change it, just to show. And remember that if you can do that with Hartzog out there, you have 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that with Buford, you have 4.
Hey, you have Buford back.
If you do that with Tommy Hill, you have 4. So then it becomes a chess match. Which tight end ends up on a flex defender? And then what do you do with your rover? Is this Hemby time? Is this for you to key the running back? Or is this to key Tango Vailoa?
Mm-hmm.
This is a chess. Again, a 30-point a game defense. Look at Joe Davis. 30-point defense against a black shirt defense that is great against the run, not always great against the pass, and then putting them in a situation where it's literally numbers. Can we match the numbers? Do we get the right personnel on the field for down and distance? And then when you get them behind the chains, listen, don't let Tango Vailoa run for 6 and get your first down.
So I just thought about this as you're going through Maryland's offense and everything they're going to do. Could there be any truth to Nebraska's defense? Again, a very good defense being less good against the pass because of the lack of passing that Nebraska's offense can even complete. Like when they're going through practices, when you're going good against good and your starting quarterback isn't really that good at completing passes, is there something to it where the defense isn't seeing that much passing action or good passing action to where them defending the pass against other teams is just that's why it's a little suspect. Again, not like it's terrible.
Well, no, but it there's always a thing that you iron against iron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only get good at the things that you see in high repetition. So there's some validity to it. In other sports, the same thing is true. Like if you don't see a breaking ball pitcher at practice all the time, and you see one in a game, oh man, you're under duress. Listen, what Maryland could come in and decide they're going to run the ball, use 3 tights, and just lead on Nebraska. Right? 240. They have 3 235-pound plus tight ends.
That's a big boys.
Right? And you're going to run them against 195-pound combo safeties.
Mm-hmm.
And rovers who just aren't really used to being leaned on for that period of time. But here's the other thing. If the weather's good, I can't imagine. Look,
I can't have this weather on Saturday.
Talia is going to, when I tell you that what they do, they will tell you what they're doing. And say, listen, we've got our 5 pass catchers who are all really good.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to dare you to have 5 defensive backs that you can put out on the field and cover us while still being run capable, run defend capable. Oh,
have fun.
Oh, what do you do? And you've got rovers, and you can say that you like Sanford and Gifford in that space on the hash against 2 tight ends, but what if it's 5 wideouts?
I would also say that the tape is out multiple times. Nebraska's secondary, one of the places they struggle, man, they love to bite on play action. It happened on the first drive of the game, and that was something that Michigan State staff did really well, is that they scouted Nebraska really well, and you saw it from the get-go. And Isaac Gifford, who is leading Nebraska in tackles, he was the one that bit the worst on the play action on Saturday.
Well, I mean that's what tape's for.
Exactly.
If I find a catch, if I think a thing that I can take advantage of, well, that's what happens. It happened in Michigan where you're just in the end zone. You go, it's just peaking. The coaching adage is don't look for work's coming. Like I don't need you. If you're the doorkeeper, be the doorkeeper. I don't need you down the street. I don't need you out back. I don't need you looking through the window. What I need you to do is handle the door so that everybody else is safe and can do their job.
It's always going to find you. I mean, like it's just like in baseball, you make one error, darn well, really quickly here, you're going to get another opportunity. How are you going to respond? Because it's coming. Whether it's the football gods, baseball gods, basketball gods, that adversity is going to send another level at you. how are you going to respond? I want to
when somebody subs in, it's going to find you.
When we get to On the Block, once again, we got about a minute left here in the show. DP and I filling in for Strick and Austin today. I want to look at Nebraska's offense because
why?
And I'm going to repeat these percentages.
I was going to say, who hurt you?
How about
who
this?
hurt you? Why are you mad?
I mean,
like
in 7 games at starting quarterback, Heinrich Harburg accounts for 34% of Nebraska's rushing yards this season. And how about this? 29% of the 34% of the carries this season, 29% of the rushing yards this year. I want to get DP's thoughts on that, as maybe it's not as sustainable of an option. Let's
paging Lamar Jackson.
There it is.
Paging Lamar Jackson.
Well, and Nebraska might not have Lamar Jackson on their team, though. Let's talk about that when we come back next. Full On the Block coming up in just a few moments. See ya.
Adios.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your